Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to our Institution of Global Professionals free webinar. Thank you for joining with us in this wonderful evening. This is Syed Ibadullah Rashdi from Pakistan and I am hosting today's webinar. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to be associated with IGP as a global member. Welcome you all to our Institution of Global Professionals free webinar. Be with us until the end. I hope you will learn and enjoy in this evening. You can like and comment any time in this webinar, and don't forget to tag and share with your friends and community. We believe that power is gained by sharing, not hardening it. So once again, let me introduce myself. This is Syed Ibadullah Rashdi from Pakistan. I am a TED speaker. I did 35 certified courses from well-recognized institutions around the world. Currently, I am doing law from Sheikh Zulfikar Ali Bhutto University of Law, Pakistan, HR management from Ritual University of Pakistan, and international business and entrepreneurship from University of Oxford, that is online. And I am also volunteering with United Nations. Before starting our program, let me tell you about the IGP. Institution of Global Professionals is an educational institution that provides social work and share wisdom. We provide effective training and consultation to generate proficient generation all over the world. We have successfully completed 111 webinars. Thank God. We hope that those webinars benefited you and in your personal and professional life. Please don't forget to share, tag, and comment. Our mission is to promote youth, and by your support, we can do it better and best. Once again, warm welcome to all of you. Today, we are presenting our 112th webinar, which is Social Emotions in Education, with two honorable speakers, Dr. Gada Tosan Abdul Latif from Egypt and Dr. Supriya Tiwari Pathak from India. So let's start our program. Our very first speaker is Dr. Gada Tosan Abdul Latif from Egypt. She works as an English instructor in Bani Suef University since 2001. She worked as a trainer in our Future in Our Hands initiative to enable youth in participating the local administration, social solidarity ministry, team leader, and in presidency of Republic Initiative, Mutualism, and Dignity Program, Senior Technical Administrative Assistant in Education Reform Program, AED, USAID, Community Participation Assistant Manager in Finnish Project in Bani Suef, that is FINNIDA. Her career is filled with many achievements, such as leading the initiative of creating technical generation for primary and preparatory stages, and cooperative with the Ministry of Education. She participated in preparing Ministry of Education strategic plans of Bani Suef Governorate. She is consultant for lessons learned study in We Can Participate project. International Population Council Community Participation Consultant in Transition Support Mission and Finnish project in Bani Suef Short-Term Technical Support Mission. She was awarded a lot of certifications, honoring armor from Labor Minister 2017, honoring armor from Bani Suef Teachers Union 2017, certificate from Difference Makers University to Work Initiative, that is the UTW. 2016, honoring armor and certificate from Journal Egyptian Workers Union Federation for working as a trainer in the international organization in English language basics. That's a huge profile and appreciative. So let's see. Please give a warm welcome to Dr. Gada Tosan Abdul Latif from Egypt. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, thank you for the nice presentation. I'm so happy to be with you today. Okay, shall I start?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll speak today about content-based instruction. In recent years, content-based instruction has become increasingly popular as a means of developing linguistic ability. So, learn content, acquire language. That is what they say. As our profession shifts its focus from language learning to language acquisition, knowing what content-based instruction is and how to do it effectively will help you to know what daily instruction can look like within this new mindset. What is content-based instruction? It is an approach to language teaching that focuses not on the language itself, but rather on what is being taught through the language. That is, the language becomes the medium through which something new is learned. The focus of a CBI lesson, content-based instruction lesson, is on the topic or subject matter. During the lesson, students are focused on learning about something. This could be anything that interests them, from a serious science subject to their favorite pop star, or even a topical news story or film. They learn about the subject using the language they are trying to learn, rather than their native language as a tool for developing knowledge, and so they develop their linguistic ability in target language. This is thought to be a more natural way of developing language ability, and one that corresponds more to the way we originally learn our first language. In other words, your students are simply learning about something by reading about it, listening to the teacher or someone else present it, or investigating it through discussion and research. All of the input happens in the target language, so students are interpreting target language discourse in order to learn more about the topic. As your students are exposed to linguistic input, their brain process it and intake what they can make sense of. In a nutshell, what they understand. That proceed input is applied to student mental presentation of language and proof. The seemingly magic work of language acquisition happens subconsciously, as a student conscious focus is on the content. So let's speak about the input and intake. Content-based instruction is not new. Dual language and immersion programs have been using it since the dawn of the immersion programs. Any student that has been classified as an ESL or ELL student will affirm that it is quite possible to learn content and language simultaneously. If the student is fortunate, their teacher uses caretaker speech to support their understanding of the content at hand. If the student is less fortunate, their brain receives all the language and intakes whatever small bit it can understand. The purpose of content-based instruction. The goal is to prepare students to acquire the language while using the context of any subject matter, so that a student learns the language by using it within that specific context. Rather than learning a language out of context, it is learned within the context of a specific academic subject. Here we have some examples of CBI. For example, students might have a lesson on French cuisine. This would focus on the French diet and would naturally introduce words such as pain, which means bread, fromage, cheese, and croissant in a meaningful way because the words are presented within the context of the content. Um, Content-based instruction have many advantages. First, it can make learning language more interesting and motivating. Students can use the language to fulfill a real purpose, which can make a student both more independent and confident. Also, students can develop a much wider knowledge of the world through CBI, which can feed back into improving and supporting their general educational needs. CBI is very popular among EAB teachers, EAB which means English for academic purposes, as it helps students to develop valuable study skills such as note-taking, summarizing, and extracting key information from text. Taking information from different sources, reevaluating and restructuring That information can help students to develop very valuable thinking skills that can then be transferred to other subjects. The inclusion of a group work element within the framework can also help students to develop their collaborative skills, which can have great social value. What does a content-based instruction lesson look like? Okay, first we have the preparation. We have to choose a subject of interest to students. Find 3 or 4 suitable sources that deal with different aspects of the subject. This could be websites, reference books, audio or video of lectures, or even real people. During the lesson itself, you can divide the class into small groups and assign each group a small research task and a source of information to use to help them fulfill the task. Then, once they have done their research, they form new groups with students that use other information sources and share and compare their information. There should be then be some product as the end result of this sharing of information, which could take the form of a group report or presentation of some kind. If the main purpose of a lesson is not to teach a student about a specific linguistic feature or to have student complete an activity in order to internalize a set of vocabulary or a grammatical pattern, it is likely a content-based lesson. This might look like. Let's see together some examples about the lesson plan. You can teach a student how to do something like yoga, preparing a recipe, or folding origami. Learning about a historical event, sharing a reading experience with a comprehension-based reader, imagining a story or character together with a student, discussing what a student did over the weekend, playing a role-play game like Mafia or more traditional game like Jeopardy or the Unfair Game, doing special person interviews, sharing a culture story or legend with your student, reading about animals and their habitats, studying classic literature or short stories. Literally, you can make anything with your students. CBI principles. CBI is based on 2 relevant principles. The first one, people learn a second language more successfully when they use the language as a means of acquiring information rather than an end in itself. The second, CBI better reflects learners' need for learning a second language. Of course, we have some problems with using this approach. What are the potential problems of using CBI? Because CBI isn't explicitly focused on language learning, some students may feel confused or may even feel that they aren't improving their language skills. Deal with this by including some form of language focused follow up exercises to help draw attention to linguistic features within the materials and consolidate any difficult vocab or grammar points. Particularly in monolingual classes, the overuse of student native language during parts of the lesson can be a problem. Because the lesson isn't explicitly focused on language practice, students find it much easier and quicker to use their mother tongue. Try sharing your rationale with the student and explain the benefits of using the target language rather than their mother tongue. It can be hard to find information sources and texts that lower level can understand. Also, the sharing of information in the target language may cause great difficulties. A possible way around this at lower levels is either to use text in the student native language and then get them to use the target language for the sharing of information and end product, or to have text in the target language but allow the student to present the end product in their native language. This option should reduce the level of challenge. Also, some students may copy directly from the source text they use to get their information. Avoid this by designing tasks that demand student evaluate the information in some way, to draw conclusion or actually to put it to some practical use. Having information sources that have conflicting information can also be helpful, as students have to decide which information they agree with or most believe. Why language teachers love content-based language instruction? Most of us teach language within four classroom walls, and yet the physical space of our room neither defines nor constrains us. Our language classes are boundless. The connections that we help our students to make span time periods, political borders, races, and interests. If you are lucky, they might even spend that uncomfortable space in the air between two students that enter our room thinking that they had nothing in common. Because our brains are designed to acquire language in context, the content of our classes can be anything that we decide for it to be. Language acquisition is incidental. When we shift our instruction from language based to content based, the limits of our classes become the limits of all time, space, and history. For all intents and purposes, there are no limits. Why is content based instruction beneficial? So, most of us learned a language and likely even learned to teach a language in a content-less way. We never experience the benefit of content-based instruction for ourselves. Here are just few. First, content-based instruction creates connection. One of the big mindset shifts in creating connections, not teaching curriculum. If your curriculum is structured around language targets, the number of connections that arise from it are very limited and often forced. When we look for interesting or important content to share with our students, however, there are many opportunities for relevant connection. Content drives the connection and the connection enhances student learning. Enjoying the movie together opens up connection to learn about things. All that students need is a teacher that listens to their voice and help guide them through the connection in a way that they understand. For the second one, content-based instruction is student-centered. The term student-centered instruction that is focused on what students need, know, and can do. Content-based language instruction is able to be student-centered much more than traditional methods because it allows us to explore those things that our students are interested in and what their cognitive needs are. Content-based instruction provides input. We know that input is essential to language acquisition. While some may disagree on the interplay between input and output, and on the extent to which learner must understand input in order to intake it. No one disagrees that input is vital of language acquisition. It is very difficult to teach grammar in the target language to beginning learners and to find compelling ways to work long lists of the thematic vocab into meaningful context. For this reason, many of us give up on teaching in L2 within the first few months of the year. We resort to L1 instruction because what we were trying to do wasn't working for all of our students. In doing so, we take away the input that is critical to language acquisition. Content-based instruction gives us the platform we need to teach in the target language. It gives us permission to talk about the things that interest us and that interest our students. It gives us permission to find things to talk about that we can present to our students in a way that they understand in the target language. Let's see vocabulary instruction in CBI activities. Okay, for part one, we can make the questions. I can ask them to answer the following questions about the planned vocabulary activity. Remember, this should be for CBI course, not an EFL class. If you don't have a CBI course right now, please use your imagination and you can create this activity to imagine that you have a CBI class and you can plan for a CBI lesson plan. For the context, we can use what is the subject of the course, math, history, etc. What is your student grade level and English level? How many students are in the class? You can describe the lesson or unit that this list of vocab words is associated with. Next, you can describe the stage of vocab acquisition of your student. Is this the first time they are seeing these words, or are some of these words already familiar? Is there much variation among your students? For the list, you can write the list as you will present it to the student. There should be a maximum of 8 items. Fewer is fine. You may choose to include in your list not only words but short phrases. You can categorize each of the word on the list into one of or two categories. Maybe you can categorize it as technical or academic terms. Um, and also, you may have general English vocab. Okay, we can use this as follows. Which of these words are technical or academic terms? For technical example, the word product is used in general English, but for math it has a technical meaning that indicates multiplication, as in the product of 2 and 8 is 16. For academic terms are words that are not normally used in casual conversation, but are not specific to the content area. Also, which of these words are general English words? Will you include to your student which words are which? That is how will your student know what kind of context it is general or academic these words are used in. How will you introduce this list to your students? If you are using a technique like personal dictionary, describe how your student will choose the words themselves. Concerning the learning, We can ask about what opportunities will your student have to practice the words in class. How will you make sure that your students are practicing the words in context? Do you expect your student to study the words on their own time outside of class? If so, will you give them ideas for how to study them? How will you check your student learning of the words? Will you check their comprehension in class during activities? Will there be a test or quiz over the words? If so, what kinds of questions will you ask them? Okay, it is not just academic culture in the CBI classroom. It is common for CBI instructors to become very focused on the content, curriculum, and see language as merely a mean to an end. Language is sometimes only seen as a code for this feeling the content. A teacher can't forget that we use language to communicate with others. While it is important to learn how to use words, it is also important to see language as a social practice for participating and communicating with the speakers of that language. But language learning is not only limited to social processes, it's extended to culture too. As CBI teacher, we should be aware that culture plays a central role in the way meanings are interpreted. Language and culture are intertwined. Culture makes language possible. At the same time, language forms the basis for culture. We use tools and symbols, including language, to create cultures. Moreover, both language and culture are characterized by variability and diversity. An overemphasis on learning content and language forms can lead to a knowledge-based view of culture that only involves teaching facts about other people and places. This kind of teaching ignores how those people live in a society and communicate their feelings, emotions, and desires. This is why, as CBI teacher, we need to shift our emphasis on learning to be intellectual. Learning to be intellectuals mean more than knowing about other people and culture. It involves an awareness of ourselves in relation to others' culture and developing an understanding of how one's own culture shapes one's relationships and interaction with others. So the goal of teaching should be to help students step away from their own culture assumptions to develop an intercultural identity. In language teaching, the target language is not a new code for the same thing. Rather, it is taught effectively. The new language and the culture provide a chance to learn new ways to understand the world. In this process, the similarities and the differences between the self and the others are explored and redrawn as a result of engaging with other culture. So culture and language being variable and diverse require a CBI teacher to promote intercultural language learning by incorporating a few changes to their instruction. The way students organize knowledge influences how they learn and apply what they know. It is important to plan instruction to be active and help students make connection with their previous knowledge. So teacher must also ensure that students are given opportunities to actively reflect on their beliefs and to interact and communicate their ideas to their peers. These ideas are illustrated in these examples. Example 1, the Big Bang Theory. In a science class, while learning about the solar system, teacher can help students make personal connection to their previous knowledge. They can also do this by helping the student explore the religious theories behind the creation of the earth, while at the same time learning about scientific theories, Big Bang Theory. Discussing religious theories in class will help students encounter diverse perspectives at two levels. First, at the level of religion, as a student of different religions will have different theories and stories about the creation of the earth. Second, at the level of theory, student will be familiarized with two sets of information. One that is based on scientific evidence and the other that is based on the information based on by their culture. Having a space to communicate their ideas to others while also understanding others' notions will help them challenge their previous knowledge and reflect on it. For example, number two, learning new words for old and new concepts. Often there are words that either have different meanings in different languages. For example, sí means yes in Spanish, but no in Swahili, and the English word gift means poison in German. Similarly, there are words that exist in one language but are missing from other languages. For example, the word sod, which means the top layer of earth with living grass in it. When working with these words, CBI teacher need to scaffold their student learning by using techniques such as using a word wall and be contextualizing words to actively engage students and help them add these words to their vocab and be able to use them to communicate their ideas. The third example is OER. If you use open educational resources OER in your classes, you will encounter features of the OER that are specific to the culture of the OER author. As you decide how you need to adapt the OER to fit your classroom context, you may choose to change this feature of the OER. On other occasions, however, you may prefer to keep this feature in the lesson and use it as a learning opportunity. Let's take the example of thought mentioned in the previous example. You could actively involve your student in an investigation by having them do an internet search on the word thought. Once they know what it means, you can have them relate it to the ground covering that they are familiar with, thereby making connection with their previous knowledge. So a short conversation on the differences in ground covering or just the words that we have to for them could lead to rich opportunities for interaction, communication, and reflection. To To conclude all what we speak about, why CBI can be both challenges and demanding for the teacher and the student, it can be also very stimulating and rewarding. The degree to which you adopt this approach may well depend on the willingness of your student, the institution in which you work, and the availability of resources within your environment. It could be something that your school want to consider introducing across the curriculum, or something that you experiment with just for one or two lessons. Whichever you choose to do, I would advise that you try to involve other teachers within your school, particularly teachers from other subjects. This could help you both in terms of finding sources of information and in having the support of others in helping you to evaluate your work. Try to involve your students, get them to help you decide what topic and subject the lessons are based around, and find out how they feel this kind of lessons compares to your usual lessons. In the end, they will be the measure of your success. Thank you so much. It was an honor to participate in such a great event.
Thank you, ma'am. That was an incredible speech, and we are grateful to you for your marvelous presentation and giving us time, your valuable time. This session will be more effective for our audience because you shared your intelligible knowledge with us. Now it's time to move our next speaker. But before moving to our next speaker, let me remind you once again, please share, tag, and comment. Your support is more important for us. Now, our next speaker is Dr. Supriya Tiwari Pathak from India. She also have a heavy profile and the very appreciative profile. She is a director, foreign affairs with in Viti Gossip Association, a keynote coordinator to lead India for foreign collaborations and business networking. She is an auditor, quality certification London, adjudicator, World Book of Records, thought leader, visionary woman, and certified life coach. She is a businesswoman, humanitarian, knowledge seeker, and compelling speaker. Dr. Supriya Tiwari Pathak, multifaceted leadership with compassion and humility in different group of companies. Dr. Supriya has been awarded PhD management degree in Convocation Ceremony 2019, she was awarded Exceptional National Excellence Award organized by Alma Group of Companies, London, held in Indore, Madhya Pradesh, India. She has been honored among the prominent guest speakers and guest of honors around the world in International Digital Summit by Vichy Gossip Association. Dr. Supriya Tiwari Pathak reached her own turning point when she was nominated as an adjudicator for Africa continent in 2019 by World Book of Records, London, UK. Having a positive mindset to achieve incredible using full potential, here Dr. Supriya Pathak created a blueprint on how to find your own voice, becoming conqueror, and living your life by your own set of rules. Dr. Supriya Pathak, who is all-in risk taker, women's advocate, knows how to overcome fear and eliminating victimhood mindset to achieve something extraordinary. Please give a warm welcome to Dr. Supriya Tiwari Pathak. Hello, ma'am.
Hello everyone, greetings from India. So, with your permission, I would like to share my screen.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Okay, thank you very much. So, my screen, I think, is proper visible.
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Okay, let me make a slideshow. Okay. So it's a warm greetings from India, and thank you very much for this beautiful introduction. I would like to first thank you. I would like to first uh, congratulate for the International Institute of Global Professional for organizing this beautiful and this thoughtful webinar. So today I'm going to deliver my speech, my presentation on ask. Ask means attitude, skills, and knowledge. So this is the time to find that which is better for learning and for educating. So here is the outline of my presentation. First of all, we will go with the meaning of ask.
Hello, ma'am. Sorry for
Hello.
this interview. Sorry for this interview. Actually, ma'am, you have
Okay.
to share your screen with your entire screen, not from window. So you have to stop your share and you have to share it again.
Okay, just a moment, just a moment.
Sure, ma'am. Share your entire screen. Then after
Uh,
that, you have to open your PPT and make it to presentation mode.
okay, so here is my first, just hold on. Okay, so I'm going to again with the share button, share screen, share screen.
Again,
Okay,
share screen. Then your entire screen.
yes, okay, entire screen.
Yeah. Then share.
Okay, now share. But the share button is not on
No,
mute.
ma'am, you have to click on the entire button tab.
So sorry, please repeat again.
You have to click on entire screen tab.
Yes, yes, the entire
On
screen
that time,
tab is clicked.
on that time you can see the bottom side one button will become blue color share.
No, actually, the entire screen is clicked, but
Yeah,
the
entire
cancel,
screen
yeah.
after your focus point entire screen Chrome tab. Sorry, entire screen window Chrome tab. After that you have a tab, so click on that at the middle point.
Okay, just hold on.
At your entire screen at the middle point
Uh-huh.
you have a tab, so click on tab and now you can see the share option.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, share. Okay,
Yeah, now open your PPT.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, and make it from the first and make it presentation mode.
Yeah, okay. Now I'm making slideshow. Yeah,
Yeah, now
okay.
move to the next slide.
Now,
Now move to the next slide, ma'am. Just for a trial, move to the
okay,
next slide.
okay. Yes.
Yeah, it's working. It's working. So you may start, ma'am. Sorry for this time.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, yeah. No, no, no. And yeah, I'm extremely sorry for this. And thank you very much for guiding me. Thank you very much. Yeah. So, shall I start?
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Yeah, okay. So, I'm starting. So, here is my outlines of the presentation. So, first of all, we will go with the meaning of ask. And at the last, we will go for the success formula. So the meaning of ask means attitude, skills, and knowledge. So attitude includes curiosity, desire to succeed, open-mindedness, and resilience. Where skill includes intellectual skills, social skills, communicative skills, and physical skills. Now, the knowledge includes facts, figures, concepts, and ideas. My whole presentation will tell us that what is the important things among attitude, skills, and knowledge. So if you don't have skills, it can be acquired. If you don't have a knowledge, it can be gained. But if you don't have attitude, you are in trouble. So for everything, if you want to learn, if you want to educate, if you want to doing something, or if you want to touch the pinnacle of success, you must have a positive attitude. So, what is the concept of the ask? See, everyone needs a competence world. Everyone needs a competency in their life, in their work. So, we need these three elements: attitude, skills, and knowledge. So the problem is not the problem. The problem is your attitude about the problem. So there is the definition of the attitude. This definition is the most nuanced and broad in its application. An important factor to consider when thinking about your attitude is that it isn't necessarily about having a good or a bad attitude, but how your awareness of your own outlook and state of mind on a given task influences your performance. And what about the skills? So, the repetition is the mother of skills. Skills are your ability to perform tasks. An individual acquires their skill sets through training, experience, or natural abilities. The skills are different from knowledge because knowledge is a prerequisite to skills. So here is skill and knowledge work together to create the overall excellence in your performance. If you want to perform very well, if you want to touch the pinnacle of success, if you want to achieve something incredible, so definitely we have to focus on our skills and knowledge with a positive attitude. So here is some graphics which shows the special needs and the additional needs. Here is the axis and here is the deficit. So categories of learners with special educational needs are: learning how to learn is life's most important skill. And here I'm introducing the generating more cash. Knowledge and skills are mostly associated with the learning. These two factors of learning are typically developed through teaching or experience, whereas attitude and habits are factors associated with the execution. See, if your execution of the task with the full of knowledge and skills are go with the proper positive and the enthusiastic attitude, then definitely we will achieve our objectives in a better way. And here are the two examples, uh, which are the well-known personalities. So here, oftentimes an individual's success is dependent upon asking him or herself if acquiring new knowledge and skills is more vital to their success. You either lack knowledge and skills or you have poor habits and attitudes. Learning how to learn is an invaluable skill that will take you to new places and allow you to experience. So, it's a time to decide which is better: attitude, skills, and knowledge. And here I want to share a video which clearly define that which is a better: attitude, skills, or knowledge for learning and for educating. So from here, I'm stop sharing and I'm going to a YouTube. Give me some time. I'm sharing my screen again. Is this the YouTube screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible. You can continue with
Okay,
it.
okay. Yes, yes. So I'm playing this video. So as we can see in this video that there is the most important thing is your positive attitude. If you want to learn, if you want to educate, if you want to achieve your goals, if you want to achieve your objectives in your life, so definitely you need a positive mindset. You need a positive attitude towards your the goals. So if you want to proper use for your skills, for your knowledge, if you want to spread your knowledge and skills among the society, so first you need a proper, if you so first you need a positive mindset and a bundle of positive attitude. So thank you very much for for inviting me, and thanks a lot all the participants who are joining us around the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was really amazing. Thanks for enlightening us with your pearls of wisdom and story. Thank you for your contribution and thank you for your precious time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Once again, audience, towards the audience, let me remind you, please do not forget to tag, share, and comment. Thank you. Now it's please join the quiz. The link has been shared in the comment, I think so. If it is not been shared yet, so please just click on www.slido.com and use the code 22222. 5 times 2. Once again, please join the quiz www.slido.com, and the code for the quiz for entering in the quiz is 5 times 2. We have 27 participants yet in the quiz, and they are increasing very fast. '51. Again, let me clear it. Please join the quiz on www.slido.com and use the code 22222 to enter in the quiz. 5 times 2. The code is 5 times 2. $112 participants. That's nice. And still they are increasing. I request you all to please join the quiz. It is really an exciting session. And after the quiz, do not forget to receive your certificates. The certificate will be provided either in the comment box, or the winners should contact with the inbox in the inbox of the IGP, and you will be provided your certificate there. Please write your full name and your country name in the inbox. $156 participants. Cool. 160. 'Let me clear once again. Please enter in the quiz with your full name at www.slido.com. Use the code 5 times 2, 22222 to use to enter in the quiz, and do not forget to receive certificates after completing the quiz. Winners, and 174 participants. Okay, here we go. Question number 1. The benefit of social interactions are positive mood, increased self-esteem, connection to peers, or loneliness. %, positive mood, increased esteem 49%, connection to peers 32%, and 0% towards loneliness. Let's see. Positive mood is the right answer. That is 19%. Good job. All students have access to journal education curriculum. Is it true or false? %78 true and 22% false. Let's see what is the answer. True. Cool. Great job. Number third, the four criteria of a basic emotion include that it is evident in all cultures, that it is long lasting, that it is easy to distinguish, that others can accurately perceive it. 51% at the first option, 12% to the second, 5% to the third option, and 32% to the last option. Let's see what is the answer. First, that it is evident in all cultures. Again, great job. So Rommel Decky is on the top. Social learning theory is learning social behavior by observing, imitating. Psychological need creates aroused tension or drive. So, first option, learning social behavior by observing or imitating is the right answer. Upper, middle, working, or lower? %42 upper, 17% middle, 37% working, and 5% lower. Let's see what is the right answer. Lower, 5%. Well, not bad. So Kenneth Samya is on the top. People with more self-awareness are more successful in their education, career, and relationships. Is it true or false? True, 98%, and false, 2%. Let's see what is the answer. True. Great job again. Kenneth Samya is on the top still. Which regularity in behavior can most likely be accounted for by the existence of a social norm? Students tend to use less profanity adults than the peers. People perform well-learned behaviors better. Otherwise, most people sleep at least 6 hours a night. Male infants have a higher infant mortality rate than female. Okay, so the second option is at 78%, but the right answer is the first one. Students tend to use less profanity than adults than with the peers. Again, good job. So Rommel Deck on the top. Great job. Stoic emotion, upper, working, middle, or lower? 52% for upper, 19% working, and 25% middle, 4% lower. Let's see what is the answer. Upper, 52% people gave the right answer. Great job again. Rommel Deck is on the top still. Good job. Music in our brain is connected to reward and emotion. Is it true or false? Okay, so 93% people answered true, and true is the right answer. Great job again. Many students with disabilities receive instructions in social skills because social skills are crucial for success in an inclusion classroom. They are unable to benefit from educational training. Teachers in general education focus primarily on instructions in social skills. Social skills are easier to teach than academic skills. 49% for the first answer. Let's see which answer is the right. First option is the right. Great job, everyone. So Romel Decay is the winner. Great job. And remember, winning is not everything. Having the experience is the most important thing in every competition. So everyone, great job for the quiz. Now it's time for the brainstorming session, which is the Q&A. Everyone, once again, let me remind you, do not forget to receive your certificates that will be either provided in the comment box or please inbox in the page so that you can receive your certificate, and please write your name, your full name and the name of your country in the inbox. Thank you. Now it's time for the really interesting and brainstorming session, that is the Q&A. Please ask your questions in the comment box. Please ask questions in the comment box and address the name of the speaker from whom you want to ask the question.
Sorry, Ibadullah, sorry. I just message you in private chat. You don't see that. Actually, for urgency, I have to stop today's session right now. So there's the point. I think you can hear me clearly,
Okay.
right? Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
obviously I can hear
So,
you.
dear participants, sorry for that. Actually, we have to stop the program right now, and already I shared certification link into pin box, and you can check it anytime. First of all, congratulations to those three winners. Please contact with our page inbox with your full name, or we have three names: first, second, third. We will issue those names with certificates. So you know the certification system always the same. Already shared the certificate, already pinned the certification link into comment box, and I will share the link into comment section right now. Yeah, I already shared it into comment section. Like lots of participant joins from live. They don't join through our page. So on that time, some participants are not able to get the click on the link. So you don't need to tense any about that. Just click on browse www.eduigp.com, and after that you can find today's topic. So you have to enroll. If you are new, then you have to create your account. If you have account, then you can do that. And we have a request to you that actually now at least 364 in live, so all are trying to claim their certificate from our website. And one more thing is that this is uh, free version of website WordPress. So it says error. Yeah, that's the point, because lots of participants are trying to get their certificate, so it's a little bit traffic right now. So I think on behalf of IGP, it's a cordial request to you. Try it after 30 minutes or after 40 minutes. And you can try it from tomorrow also, no problem. So for certificate, you don't need to get more excited. So you can claim your certificate anytime, no problem. just browse www.eduigp.com. If you are not able to click on link, so just browse this website www.eduigp.com, and you can see that today's program, and just you have to click on enroll. If you have account, then you have to click on enroll. If you are new, then you have to create an account first. When you click on enroll button, on that time it will become like that, get your certificate and your certificate code. So certificate code not required. This is the view of laptop and desktop. This is the same view of mobile also. So if you are not able to click on link, so it's a request, browse www.eduigp.com, and you can claim your certificate anytime. And it's a rush time, so a cordial request, please don't get a more rush. You can claim after 30 to 40 minutes also. And this is your certificate. You can verify your certificate from anytime, anywhere. Our next webinar will be held on June 14, 2021 at the same time, the future of education. Speakers from India, Greece. Is the same time, the topic will be covered in the future of education based on industry and based on future education. This is for June 14th, and this is for June 16th. Research and mindset. Speakers from Malaysia, Philippines, and United Kingdom. This is held on June 16th. Research and mindset. And another one is, sorry, this is June 18th. This is June 18th. Driving equity and quality in education with technology, artificial intelligence, IoT, and the role of virtual lab. It's an important and hot topics for nowadays. So this is our third upcoming webinar at June 18th. It's a little mistake. June 16th. It will become June 18th. So June 14th, we have the future of education. At the same time, June 16th, we have research and mindset. June 18th, we have driving equity and quality in education with technology with three speakers from Egypt and India. And this are the certificate sample. This is quiz completion certificate. This is lifetime membership certificate. And this is professional membership certificate. So all about that. And still, if you have any kinds of query, then please contact with our page inbox. We are always ready to serve you. We are always ready to serve you. Someone, Roman Bun, asked, need the code. What I said that for today's program or for previous program, you don't need any code. Okay. And thank you so much. I will share the link again. No problem. But for some, due to some speakers' urgency, I have to stop the program right now. And see you at June 14. The topic will be the future of education. Thank you so much, and thank you, Sayyid Ibadullah Rashid, for
Thank
your
you.
nice and amazing presentation about your hosting. This is your
Thank
first
you
time
so much.
with IGP.
Yeah,
Hope to see you again.
inshallah, obviously.
Thank you.
Thank you.